in the middle right position, otherwise known as 3 o'clock. He is our new challenger, which, as Dizzy has said, has been a king in a previous, just our most previous recent Battle of the Beehive, and he had quite a run himself. It is Momo GK. And for some reason I had to say it super weird. In the bottom left is our yellow Protoss player. He is the now, again, well, he's got actually a lot of challengers, but we'll see if anyone is up to snuff to claim the title from him. He is Dewalt.
Boing, boing, boing.
Womp, womp, womp. Sometimes when I do these intros... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, this is a slightly different dynamic with the last game where you have, rather than adjacent positions, you have a bit further away. In this case, I think Momo is gonna just look to, similar to how Rizal, walled up his choke. I think Momo can expect a frontal assault, but I think he'd be more in this case prepared for drops, as the shuttle speed is obviously a lot faster than his units, so we may see something of an early starport just to help defend against the drops.
Yeah.
And let's see. I was actually expecting Momo to go something like Command Center first, expecting Dewalt to go Nexus first, but it looks like he's just playing it safe. I'm very confident with Momo and his abilities. I'm not well versed in SCW or their playstyle or rankings at all by any means, so please in the chat do not flame me. But I noticed that he's pretty highly ranked up there in 1v1, so I think he's comfortable with 1v1s. I think he's confident in his skills, and I think he has every reason to be, especially against someone as adept as Dewalt.
It's interesting to see that Momo is also playing at the smaller aspect ratio, the OG. I should just show, if anyone isn't familiar with it, this is how Momo is playing the game. This is his perspective. You see my square over his on the mini-map. And to each their own. For me, it kind of feels like my eyes are going to start bleeding, but if this is how you've always played the game, then this is what you're used to, and like you were saying, Dizzy, it really doesn't slow him down or hamper him at all. And then we can just go back to Dewalt division over here. Well, imagine trying to commentate like that every time you show it from the player's perspective and having to go from those polarizing graphics. And what would be even better is if we had a third one that we could cycle through, so we could turn on the Carbot animation whenever we wanted, or the Carbot style. I'd love to do that.
I think players would actively tell us to give us their money back.
When there's a PvP, I should turn on the Carbots. Nah, it's fine. So,
yeah.
With the
as much as I love Carbots, I don't think I can accept that in my life. Now, one thing to keep in mind with the original view isn't necessarily that it's an old view, but it's the pillar boxes where you have the 4:3 aspect ratio as opposed to the 16:9, and that's really just a setting that you can turn on, but in the settings. But a lot of people say that they prefer that because it's just not only a smaller screen and minimap to look at, but also because it's faster for them to scroll with their mouse. So
yeah, that's a good point. He could be playing with the new graphics, and yeah, I mean, I'm sure he is playing with the new graphics, dude. They're going for it again. These Terrans, they got a taste. He thought, oh man, Terran almost got away with it last game. He's gonna throw down this time and distract at the front while trying to get these, them little Firebat boys down the top left.
Yeah, I think Momo's probably saw the last game, saw how effective it could be, and is potentially trying it out. And really, it doesn't hurt him too much because he only did go for 2 barracks anyway, so he's not really investing in a 4th barracks like how Terrans, wouldn't really save up for that. But let's see how it plays out. Plus, it is harder to scout, or not as likely for Dewalt to scout this. Although he is building pylons on the right side of his base, so I imagine he may be looking to build it above as well.
Yeah, I will say that about... Oh, that was a cool little move by Dewalt. He's trying to drag those Marines back into his cannons. he is safe, and I think that is a good thing. Look at that. He sends a guy up. It's like almost, it's like perfect timing to check his corners if there was going to be something with stim there. Oh, he might be able to outrun those Dragoons. I don't know if he will or not. Oh, the probes are going to block.
Oh, great block.
Oh my gosh.
What a block by Dewalt. My goodness. No one, that's not easy to do. If you guys want to try it in game,
he's going wide.
Those probes will never listen to
you. No, my probes hate me. So do my drones. My drones hate me the most. Oh my gosh. So I think he's got a timing down that he just knows if Firebats were going to come in with stim, it's like 5.5 minutes or roughly 5 minutes. So it's kind of like is Terran. You need to start your eBay by 4 minutes in case they go DTs. Oh, the reverse shot! We just barely missed the money shot, but we got the second one. So it wasn't supposed to cost him all that much, and then he just walked out with the Reaver, and that's kind of what I was trying to say a second ago, is Dewalt seems to be very careful, and obviously we got thousands of games. It makes you a very careful player until he's ready. And then when he's ready, we saw what happened last game, just that big old nasty bust. The Wraith is out.
Yeah, we're seeing Dewalt actually tech up to 11, well, not tech, but explode up to 11 gateways. So I think we're gonna see what we saw last game, where he just tries to bust down the choke. And Momo
That's cool.
Isn't necessarily prepared for the drop. I think he is just expecting this bust of the choke to come.
When he saw the Reavers and he saw, I mean, I guess it could still be anything, right? It could be, I think it's more of the info that he got from watching the last game of what he's going to see potentially this game, because it worked so well. He does have 5 bunkers. He's got 3 tanks. He is bringing some Marines back at his main just in case. But yeah, it's an even bigger army. He did leave a medic out, so he sees, oh, there's the Wraith that might be able to get the shuttle. I think the shuttle needs to run back, doesn't it?
Oh, he got the shuttle. Great job. Now he's actually forcing the Reavers to either, commit or back up. And I love the early dropship as well. Now he can actually put tanks on the cliff to defend even better. Now with the Dragoon control, I'm pretty sure Dewalt will try and pick it off if it's vulnerable enough. Oh, he's actually going for the counter.
That's interesting. There's 3 cannons, though. I don't think that's going to do anything. I think what you said originally was the better play. Put it up and just survive this first attack, because it is so lethal. Just put it up on the ridge, hold, and then do the fancy stuff, because these are all pylons. There is a cannon there, though.
Kamikaze his way, just like how we saw Cross did it to Momo, but
true.
The wall has to be expecting, and there's enough tanks to eventually, or there's enough cannons. Oh no!
Go, 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 go! Okay, got 5.
There, a second tank? I thought there was a second tank.
Nope, there's only 1.
Okay.
Which is also weird.
That wasn't bad. 5 pros, but I feel like it could have been a lot more lethal.
Now it's going to be
another dropship with 2 tanks now.
Yeah. I guess it's fine because it stopped Dewalt from pushing out. Maybe he's waiting for another shuttle, and he built another Reaver instead of another shuttle. I don't know, man. Oh, he sent an SCV to go repair this barracks at 9 o'clock, and it's not going to get repaired. So he's going to go for it again, but Dewalt sees it. I'd maybe just say fly out. Oh, I guess he's committed. He might be able to do it, though.
Let's see. Is he going to get the ones at the mineral, or... Oh! That was a great shot. I think he got about a control group.
He got at least 7 on 1 tank, and I don't know what happened to it. It died before... Oh, rest in peace, this barracks. It died before I could click on it to see. But that was good.
Yeah, I think Momo is actually in a pretty great spot. He's getting the probes. He's forcing... the shuttle initial catch, I think, was a great play. He basically said no to Dewalt's attack, and they may actually say hello to each other as they go towards 12.
Let's see. Oh, man. They're going to miss... Oh, no, they right past each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like when the ships pass at night.
Yeah, very romantic. It's about them trying to commit murder. Does have Marines there, and since he did see it, he can move them into a better position. So what happened last game. But Dewalt knows that he's been seen, so both sides, actually. There's Dragoons waiting for the Terran drop, and then there's a bunch of Marines waiting for the Reaver drop.
Oh.
Woo. But now on the other side, the same thing might happen. Two ships
Following
passing
the
in the
gas. I
night.
don't think Dewalt
Oh!
saw it, judging by his dragoons not moving, but
Nope.
he does have a decent amount of canisters, so I don't think he'll take too much damage from this,
Womp.
even if the dropship gets out.
It's Marines? And then maybe it's going to be a siege tank. That's interesting.
Right.
I thought it was going to be 2 siege tanks again. Here comes another drop.
Momo, interestingly enough, has 6 barracks. I didn't think the barracks were necessary. I think more factories would be nice. Here comes a drop coming from the bottom of 3. Let's see if this Reavers or Storm. Storm! Oh, great storms, but great pull by Momo as well.
He's able to save, what, at least maybe a hotkey and a half, maybe 2 hotkeys, maybe 24-ish.
Yeah, what Dewalt did great isn't necessarily aim at the mineral patch, but it's aim for both sides with both High Templars. So
Yeah,
that way you could cover more surface area.
especially as they try to run.
Yeah. We're seeing now 2 Stargates. Now really we're coming down to sort of the traditional fastest that most people are probably used to seeing. And we're seeing even more barracks come down for Momo. Interesting. This is not a style that I am honestly used to seeing where they go for this gateway or barracks explosion.
He could storm these
A lot
Marines.
of High Templars.
Yeah, he's got one with at least 1 storm. Let's see if he actually makes it. No, these Marines were on it. And that was crazy. He stormed and then he started running it back. It probably started running back on its own, but if it was intentional, it dragged the Marines into the storm. Brutal. Surprisingly, their supply is pretty close. It's probably because of all these GD barracks. You just got to keep
Look at that
making.
hallucination. I'm
Where?
so pumped to see this.
Where? I don't see
the
it.
wall space. The wall space.
Okay. Oh shit, that's
Now
a
there's
lot.
only one. There's only one shuttle, one real shuttle.
Yeah.
Now there's 2, but I think he's only gonna go at 1. But
Let's
I don't
follow
know
the
actually.
one.
Now that I think about it, that it's just 1. If this is a great play, because now he's exposing that there are hallucinations out. So he's gonna be wanting to. Momo will eventually want to upgrade EMP as well to get rid of the hallucinations.
EMP is good to
but-
have anyway. I don't think enough people do it.
Right.
This has got to be terrifying.
Let's see how effective this will be. 1 storm.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Great. About
2,
15,
13?
16 kills.
Yeah. His pulls have been amazing. So he's got a supply depot in the top left, and he's got a SCV at middle left or whatever at 9 o'clock. So he can hotkey his SCVs to whatever number he wants, 6, 7, 8, whatever, 1, 2, 3, and then he can just right-click these mineral patches or these gases, and that's how they stack and run away so well. If he didn't have that vision, he could only go to the top or the bottom of his base, and they are a lot easier of a target. Still, I love that idea. I was wondering if we're gonna have an Idra moment that he just saw all those shuttles and thought it was Dewalt and be like, "All right, I'm, I'm out." But I'm glad that he didn't.
Here comes another drop while there's an attack on the front.
Oh, that one's
Oh.
19. I didn't see the other one, but this is like he got like everything now.
Oh, Momo was in such a great spot too. You could see the army supply was basically coming equal, but that is huge. That will set him back a ton. And now, honestly, this is the part where Dewalt is probably gonna start teching the carriers
Yeah.
and or arbiters for recall, and just look to just constantly bombard him with doom drops or just a 1-punch knockout. And that was tough. That's basically going to delay Momo from pushing out of his base for a while.
Forever. I don't see why you would stop dropping. Just keep dropping, keep the economy down. I mean, I guess we have seen it in cases where if the Terran does start to get a handle of things and starts defending the drops too well, then you just start feeding into them and you allow them back into the game. So be aware of that. But like what he's doing right now, even just a couple hallucinated shuttles, I think is really smart. And oh, there he goes, scanning everything to check the tech. He does have the fleet beacon. He is going in with that. It's a lot of Marines. He might be able to start targeting.
He's coming in at both sides. Thankfully, he didn't bite on the fake. But yeah, just anything now is going to be extremely annoying. Not only is he catching the couple SCVs he has, but keeping him from mining. You see Momo at 23 minerals, and
Yeah.
Right, as you mentioned earlier, the situation where we saw with Momo against Crazy Mage, where Crazy Mage was defending non-stop for 30 minutes and then eventually pushed out, that is what you're expecting to do as Terran. But in this case right now, where Momo basically can't seem to get settled anymore because he lost all of his SCVs, it's going to take a while for him to get to that spot.
And this is what's scary is now Dewalt can throw armies away. He's starting to get a bank, so he can just start throwing army away at the front door of Momo. Excuse me one second. So not only will he keep up with the drops, but he can just start whittling away at Terran. So it's not looking good. It's not completely over because overall Momo has been, I would say, defending admirably against the drops. It was just that one big one. And he kind of knew to send his Valkyries up, but what part of your base do you send him to? Because it happens, like the drop happens so fast, and he's hugging the wall. He's hugging it tight. This is going to be trouble again.
This is the part where Terran ideally has barracks all around the map. Oh, there's an Archon as well. I don't think the Storms will necessarily get there, but it does force a pull and takes out all the Marines, so... Yeah. The Marines themselves are now becoming a chore to replenish. Here comes another one, yeah.
I love the hallucination, by the way. Oh my gosh. Oh, he just got everything.
He thought he got everything, or he thought he got all the shuttles, but I don't think he saw that last trailing High Templar. Now, just even if you take out the Marines with these drops, is becoming such a hassle rebuilding them. You can see him barely struggle to get 3 digits on his minerals. That is...
And it's carriers.
This is now looking tough. And right, as carriers start to slowly take out each tank one by one, how is he going to replenish tank count? How is he going to replenish the Marines to stop the drops from happening? Dewalt is just picking him apart.
Yeah, he's half the supply. He's got a lot of idle SCVs for someone who doesn't have a lot of SCVs. And that's not a dig against him. He's weathered. He's been dealt like rough blow. You know what's so funny? He's had so many hallucinated shuttles thrown at him. None of these are hallucinated, so I'm sure this will just all go to his main, and I think this is the killing blow, especially when he sees the carriers. He got 4, so he's got enough, so he'll just attack with the carriers, probably draw the turret fire, drop everything that he has right at his core, and bada bing, bada boom, as they say.
Yeah, even if he doesn't go for the core, I mean, we saw this with the wall against Cross, where he just has carriers on the edge of the base, and then he drops Reavers down, and that really becomes sort of the Protoss version of slowly crawling with tanks, right? Where you have artillery, you have ranged units just slowly inching their way into your main, and right, does Momo have the army to even combat or fight against that? And he's taking out the turrets with the Dragoons. That's how comfortable he is right now. There's no tanks to punish that Dragoon from being there, and normally you would want about 12 Valkyries, 12 to 16 Valks to be able to handle this.
It is.
But yeah, we're seeing now tanks coupled with Storm, coupled with carriers.
This man is all Storms. But
I think
it's the perfect combination. You storm with your Templar, you get rid of all the Marines, and then you can come in with your carriers. He is being a little, I don't know, frivolous with them. Like, they just ate a lot of rockets, but they got stormed. He doesn't even have it. He's got 1 now that just barely popped up. He's going to need to send his Marines down. Another thing that I noticed, he doesn't really... He's got a Science Vessel. I don't know if he ever got EMP. That would have been clutch. If he had EMP'd those Templar when they came out, that could have been a lifesaver, almost an equalizer. So I don't know if he ever got that. Even Defense Matrix on the Valkyries would have been great. He doesn't really build medics. He built some at the beginning, and I've been keeping an eye on it. It's been... Okay, so when we lose is like... Wow, that didn't hit... That one hit the SCVs. So now I can send them back. There might be another one underneath there. It's just surprising he didn't. You need some medics. He just wasn't building.
Yeah, I think he was working on the assumption that because he has 6 barracks, he can just replenish the Marines as they die, rather than worrying about the medics sort of blocking his SCVs and blocking his Marines.
That's a good...
Which, I think it's perfectly fine, honestly. But Yeah, you saw the Valkyries actually handled the carrier interceptors well. It's just that there's nothing to address the Reavers, the High Templars, which is ultimately what you want to be able to, stop from happening. But, it's carriers usually itself are not the issues. It's the fact that the carriers can slowly whittle you down and then deliver the final blow, right?
So I'm surprised he's still alive. I think Dewalt's even surprised he's still alive. And my only counter to the whole the no medics thing is if you're broke and you've been stormed about 100 times maybe, maybe you want to try to keep your Marines alive a little bit longer. And he's way better than I am, so that's too brutal. Brutal storms. Like, this has to be it. GG. Yeah.
GG.